Hey, it's been a while since I've posted any videos, but I decided I should probably record some when I can. Currently playing a League of Lantern in Modern. You can tell that I'm already up 2-0 in this league. I didn't record the first two matches, but I figured I should here. I haven't posted since I played at GP Vegas. GP Vegas was interesting for me. I showed up with Hardened Scales and Affinity. I played Hardened Scales and a bunch of grinders on the first day and went 0-1, 0-1, 0-1. Meanwhile, my friend was on the exact same 75, and he 4-0'd his first grinder and went 3-1 in a second one that he played for fun. So he convinced me that we should play the same deck on the day of the tournament, because it'd be funny. So we both played Hardened Scales. I scrubbed out pretty hard. I had miserable luck drawing Hardened Scales the entire weekend. I think I drew Hardened Scales in two games of the 7 matches I played or something. My friend ended up making day 2 and going 10-5 at the end of it. So there was that. I played in the limited main event, and I went 9-0 the first day, and started the second day 3-0, so I was at 12-0. I was number 1 seed. And then I whiffed pretty hard and went 12-3, ended up in 15th place. And that was kind of enough of a roller coaster that I've been taking a bit of a breather from Magic. So in this game, I need like a land or an artifact. I can easily do nothing, but at the same time, I'm very close to having this hand be great. It's a shame that this second opal isn't a... something that does something, but a bauble. But this hand's still keepable. So anyways, 12-3 in Vegas was good enough for 15th place and $1,000. So that was nice. Going to GP Sacramento later this week, since that is local to me and that's also limited. Anyways, on the modern track, I think Affinity is really poorly positioned right now. I haven't been having any success with it. Everyone I've been talking to that's been playing it has not been having very much success with it. I think the metagame's moved to a position where all of the decks that Affinity preyed on are mostly dying out or adapting to be much better against Affinity than they previously did because of the other things in the environment. And so, because of the way the environment is structured right now, I wouldn't play Affinity. It's just not good. Which kills me to say, because I've played thousands of matches of it, but that's what it is. I don't know what I would recommend playing right now. I'm sure, take your favorite top tier deck and play it, but it shouldn't be Affinity. I'm certain Affinity will be good again at some point in the future, but the metagame needs to shift for it to be in that position again. As far as Lantern goes... So we've decided to keep, and our opponent is deep in the tank, deciding whether or not they like their hand. And they've lost connection to the game. Well then. I did enough of a preamble that I don't really want to repeat myself, so I don't want to restart the video when he reconnects. I don't know how to pause the recording and then resume it later. I suppose there's probably an option, but I don't know where it is. So let's see. How is Magic going? Yeah, so the reason Affinity is not in a great position right now, it feels like right now you have a large number of combo decks that Affinity is not particularly great against, because most of the combo decks are faster than us game 1, or have some reason why they tend to beat us game 1, because we don't have any interaction in game 1, and combo tends to be faster than aggro. We board into disruptive elements in game 2 and 3, but if you don't draw those, you don't win. I was playing at my LGS a few weeks ago, and I played against Storm, and I have 8 hate cards in my sideboard. I lost game 1 because he combos off on turn 3. Game 2, I actually kill him fast enough, and he just doesn't have it, but I didn't draw any hate pieces. And in game 3, I didn't draw any hate pieces and died. And so I just feel like against the fast combo decks like Storm, KCI, you're just not favored because they're probably going to win game 1, and game 2 or 3, you're probably not going to draw. There's probably going to be a game where you don't draw a sufficient volume of hate to win. Then the control decks, Jeskai control and blue-white control. Blue-white's always been awful, and now Jeskai's moved to be like blue-white control with better spot removal. And so those two matchups are just not very good anymore. It used to be that Jeskai was good because they were playing a bunch of cards that were bad against us, like Geist, and they didn't have quite as many good ways to bury us in card advantage. Now that they've got Search for Azcanta and Teferi, they're just being very effective. And so those matchups aren't great anymore. The things we preyed on, like Grixis Shadow and Eldrazi-tron. Eldrazi-tron I haven't seen in months. Grixis Shadow is a distant memory that people play like once in a blue moon. A lot of the more mid-rangey decks like Jund are kind of dying out as well. Then as far as the aggro decks go, we're kind of favored against Hollow or humans, but if they decide to dedicate enough sideboard slots to us, or they get lucky and draw a bunch of their sideboard hate, we're still not necessarily going to win because, you know, if humans just, you know, plays a bunch of Katakis, life sucks. And so there just isn't a lot. And against Tron, you know, you gotta draw your hate pieces. You can win against them. Might even be kind of favored, but it's not like one where I feel you're in a great position. I just feel like a lot of the matchups where you could really have an edge by playing well are slowly going away. And it's coming down to like most of the matchups that are left in the metagame are ones where it just comes down to how good Affinity's opening hand is, and you don't really have an opportunity to draw more cards before the game is effectively over. And so I don't like being in that position when I'm playing Affinity, because I like trying to use my cards more efficiently and find ways to play a long game well. And just the matchups where I felt like there were a lot of edges to be gained by being good at Affinity are slowly disappearing. And now it's just like most of the matchups feel you gotta have a real fast hand and dump it and hope you're like getting there with cranial platings, or you're just gonna be too slow, or they're gonna have too much removal or what have you. When it comes to hardened scales, it's kind of more polarized. You can have the really stupid draws with hardened scales against fairer decks, and you just like crush them because they're playing humans, and you just like go super over the top, or your draw just sucks because you don't have hardened scales. I like, the more I play hardened scales, the less I like it, because the more completely reliant on having a hardened scales it feels. And it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's a warped perspective from being at Vegas, but I felt that winning with that deck when you don't have hardened scales is so hard, and if you're just not drawing it, you're just like, alright, well, why am I playing this pile of garbage? So, I don't know. I was really hoping to record an interesting match, but it's been 7 minutes, and my opponent hasn't yet let me take the first turn. So, eventually this guy is going... Ah! I can take a turn. Huzzah. Alright. See, when people say Lantern is a slow deck, it's not slow decks, it's slow players. Certain that if there's one person timing out in this match, it's not me. In Stirring Wildwood, I don't want to blind mill. Can't do anything, so pass. If I draw another land, or... Like, the only thing that's not good is drawing colored spells. Looks like Abzan? Definitely glad I'm not blind milling against a Grimflayer. Ugh. Do not want to draw Ancient Stirrings. It appears he doesn't have Liliana, so that's good. Pretty sure if he leaves anything on top, I just shred it away just in case. Should I be shredding myself? Probably. Since I have the Academy Ruins in the Opal. But since he top-topped, I'm just going to shred that away. Shred the Marsh Flat. Let's see what I draw. An Ensnaring Bridge. Another card I can't play. Tassiger. Alright, well. They're gone. Fortunately, my hand has a lot of redundant pieces. This hand would be so much better if this was a bauble. I can deal with Abrupt Decay on my Opal, that's fine. But he does get to have the Grimflayer hit go off, so that's less good. Now, if I draw a land, I can play land, bridge, Opal, Inquisition, which is pretty good. Top, top, top. Alright, well. There we go. I'm gonna just take the bauble. I don't really need more mill rocks right now. What's he trying to draw? Tarmogoyf? Tarmogoyf's fine. And then he hits, and then I'll just shred away everything he tops with the Grimflayer. sorry, I was replying to a GChat message on my tablet. Let's shred this away. And that. Oh, good. I do not want him having a tireless tracker. Alright, got a bobble. An extraction. So... as much as I don't like doing this, I think I need to Surgical Abrupt Decay. Okay. Just needed to make sure that he wasn't drawing a way to get rid... he didn't have an Abrupt Decay in hand to kill the bridge. Alright, so what do we got to worry about? Anguished Unmaking. Maelstrom Pulse. Sorin, Grim Nemesis. So if we needle Sorin. He has no Lilianas of the Veil. And there's some tireless trackers. So he doesn't have a lot of outs. Grimflare on top is fine. What was the other card? Can't remember. Alright. So he gets one Grimflare hit in, but then I should be able to dump the rest of my hand. So now I just need to Stirrings into a Lantern, and once I find a Lantern, I should be set. So he went top, top, top. Alright, and this last card's a Path. Take the Shredder. Might as well empty my hand, since I don't have a good motive not to. And then I'll bobble him to see... No, I will bobble him on... he does have Thought Seizes, so I'm going to bobble him on his upkeep so that I don't draw and then get Thought Seized. So his upkeep, bobble. Anguished Unmaking, that's going away. And I milled a Thoughtseize. Oh, I should start shredding myself. This is unfortunate. Because he can get back Tireless Tracker now. There we go. Here's my lantern. I really hope he doesn't think to Liliana back the tireless tracker. Or the Tassiker. I guess the Tassiker doesn't matter. Perfect. So let's draw an extra card. Given that he's drawing Thoughtseize and I just want to end this game, I'm going to shred away the Thoughtseize so that he draws some garbage. Okay. So I want ley lines. I think I want a porphyry nodes. I don't want surgicals. I want welding jars. I think I want a Maelstrom Pulse. I think I could use a Tezzeret. I think I can go down some bells. I think I can go down a couple baubles. I'm gonna go down the engineered explosives. I'm gonna go up the nature's claim. Just I'm gonna go down the rest of the baubles, and I'm gonna go down the Mastermind's acquisition. Oh yeah, this hand is amazing. Like, he can have stuff against it, but this has a lot of good cards. Would be happy with this hand every time. Alright, he's gonna take a thing. But I do have an Academy Ruins and an Ensnaring Bridge. So the worst case scenario is he has Stony Silence. And I don't draw naturally. Alright, well, I'm getting rid of that Maelstrom Pulse, that's for sure. Nihil Spell Bomb's okay. Stony Silence. No, Sylvan Advocate. That's fine. Do I want Lantern? Not really. I don't want Lantern. Pixis is good. Alright, I think more than playing Pixis, I'd rather pick up the bridge, though. So he's got a Nihil Spellbomb, and he's got a another thing. I should remember it, but I don't. Something relatively unimportant. Oh, right. That part. That was pretty stupid of me. Not gonna lie. I was really thinking about that in terms of drawing a card. I was like, oh yeah, you know, I have Leyline of Sanctity. It doesn't do anything to me. Yeah. Collective Brutality. He also has a Collective Brutality. Alright. So, Liliana the Last Hope is not a big deal at the moment. So, I'm going to take 4. Oh, that was bad. I really should have put the bridge back on top in response to the casting of Niall's Spellbomb. I can't believe I did that. Alright, Thoughtseize on top is fine. I don't care if he draws Thoughtseize. He can Thoughtseize my Leyline of Sanctity, and that's totally okay. I'm going to just take this here in Snaring Bridge. And he's got Brutality +1. I don't know what the +1 is, but I have a welding jar. That's awkward. Well then. Alright. I have 2 bridges left, and I need to find one. Now, if I find a land... So I'm at 9. Yeah, finding a land is fine. An untapped land. Don't really care about his marsh flats. So he has a brutality. He can get 2. Alright, so I don't want the ley line. Oh. Well, I'll just take the bridge then. That's much easier than finding a land and then sacking Inventor's Fair. Alright, so my opponent has nothing. And I have the lock. I think I like that. I think that's a good position to be in. I think we can get rid of that Fulminator Mage. Alright. See you for the next match. Thanks for watching.